We live in Side Hustle Nation. You may have seen ads about how to make money online, supplementing your income with side hustles you can start even if you have zero cash to invest. Or perhaps you've watched videos or read articles about how you too can join the revolution and make some sweet side cash. Along the way, you might get lured into a sales funnel or two, where gurus will try to sell you their system of how to make money. And they'll even make claims on how easy it is.
Making money online in 2023 is almost like riding a bicycle.
There are also internet personalities such as Gary Vee, who promotes side hustles such as yard sale flipping to his large audience.
If I was really doing this, I'd make $1,000 a week easy on just Saturday.
But do side hustles actually work for most people? Or are they just another distraction keeping us from doing the important things that have the potential to change our lives? Let's find out. Starting a side hustle these days is common. According to a recent Bankrate.com survey, 39% of U.S. adults have a side hustle, with 1 in 3 needing the side hustle to pay for regular living expenses. Own a car? Be a driver, make deliveries, or simply rent out your car. Love dogs? Start walking or pet sitting them. Arts and crafts your thing? Sell on Etsy. If you do a simple Google search, you'll find a bunch of ways to make money both online and off. Here are a few. Not enough blogs about side hustles for you? Then you could head over to Amazon and read book after book on the subject. After that, you can watch video after video. Okay, so you read some blogs, watched some videos, and read a book or two, and you're ready to pick your side hustle. It could be something that resonates with you in some way or aligns with a current skill you have. An avid reader might decide to offer beta reading services on Fiverr. A knitter might design patterns to sell as digital downloads on Etsy. A teacher might decide to answer questions on Course Hero. But depending on what you choose, you might end up making less than minimum wage. There are sometimes hidden costs. For example, wear and tear on your vehicle when ride-sharing. And then there's sometimes extreme downward price pressure, since you'll be competing against English-speaking workers from countries like the Philippines, where the cost of living is low. But since there are so many side hustles to choose from, if one isn't providing the results you seek, just try another one. Or you can run multiple hustles at the same time. For many people, this works out, but maybe you aren't content as the months go by and you keep on hustling. You're working on this hustle, then that hustle, developing one skill, then dropping it to focus on another. At some point, you might wake up one morning and realize you're on a hamster wheel. You're grinding every day, but you might say, that's what Gary Vee says to do. You think that maybe you aren't working hard enough. You consider adding another hustle to the mix. But then you think about the quality time you haven't spent with your spouse or your kids. But it's all a part of the grind, you say. Maybe you even have dreams of quitting your day job and working on your side hustle full time. That's a great goal if you're creating a business you control. Some side hustles can be successfully turned into thriving businesses, but most side hustles are dead ends. Here are 4 reasons why. Number 1, control. Many side hustles lack control, especially ones that use a third-party website or app like Amazon, Upwork, or Uber. Yes, there are people making 6 figures or more on sites like Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Upwork, and others. That is fine and all, but there's an issue of who exactly controls that 6-figure income. For example, what if the site you sell or offer your services on makes a change that affects your income? Or maybe your income goes away entirely due to circumstances outside of your control. You are putting all your time and effort into building a business that a worker in a call center somewhere has the ability to demolish with the click of a mouse. And if a single person can destroy your business, then you lack control. The idea of control is illustrated well in The Millionaire Fastlane and Unscripted, 2 amazing books by M.J. DeMarco. In Unscripted, DeMarco describes the framework with the acronym CENTS, C-E-N-T-S, which stands for Control, Entry, Need, Time, and Scale. To help illustrate my point in this video, I'll be discussing the first 4, Control, Entry, Need, and Time. So, most side hustles lack control. What about entry? Number 2, entry. Most side hustles are easy to start. Ease of entry is a big issue with many side hustles. Basically, if it's incredibly easy to get started, then it's highly probable that a lot of people are already doing it. If all you need to do to start your side hustle is to fill out a simple form online, then you'll be up against huge competition. For example, it's easy to get started on Upwork. Do you enjoy reading books and want to beta read as a side hustle? Great, then sign up for an account, fill out a quick form, and you're ready to start taking on jobs. But it'll take a while to get your first order due to the huge competition you're up against. Sure, you can scan posted jobs every day, but think about how many other beta readers and editors are doing the same thing. Now, don't get me wrong, there are great things about Upwork. It's a great site for freelancers who aren't doing what they do as a side hustle. But many of those freelancers also work on other platforms and have clients outside of any work marketplace, likely even having their own website and ways to attract new clients on their own, such as AdWords or social media. This means they have more control over their business. Now, we have to consider that competition these days is worldwide. As I said earlier, you'll be competing against people in other parts of the world where the cost of living is lower than yours. Will you lower your prices to match theirs and participate in the race to the bottom? Or will you be invisible in a market filled with cheap solutions? Sure, if you work to be exceptional at what you do, you might rise to the top. You might be able to charge higher prices while still being noticed in the crowd due to the higher ratings and reviews you get. But in order to be exceptional, you'd have to put many hours of work into your side hustle. And then it's no longer a side hustle, it's your main gig. There's a reason there are a lot of Uber drivers out there, but not as many welders. Okay, so since most side hustles are flooded with hustlers, that brings us to the next point. Number 3, need. Most side hustles have needs that are already fully met. Need is another issue. If there's a ton of competition, then there might not be a sufficient need in the marketplace. Does the market really need another book about the paleo diet? Does the market need another mommy blog? No. What the market needs is more skilled workers. It needs people who provide solutions to problems and needs that aren't being fully met by the solutions currently available. Being a virtual assistant isn't solving a need that a million other virtual assistants could fill at rock-bottom prices. Of course, you can still compete in a flooded market that lacks an apparent need. Miss Rachel is a wildly successful YouTuber who makes educational videos for kids, a super flooded market. The thing is, she started making videos because her own child was having speech issues. It was a need she couldn't find a solution for at the time. So, as a teacher herself, she crafted videos for her child that contained sign language combined with various topics, as well as many songs she'd sing on-screen while her husband played piano off-screen. A unique value proposition was presented to the saturated market, and her channel took off, gaining millions of subscribers who watch her videos every day. Another successful YouTube channel is Dad, How Do I? A need was uncovered after Rob Kenny, a father in his mid-50s, uploaded a video on how to tie a tie. He gained 1 million subscribers in his first month and has grown steadily since by filling an important need that wasn't being fully met. His practical advice on how to do or fix various things resonated with people who might not have a father figure in their lives. Number 4, time. Most side hustles are a time suck. The next issue is time. Many hustles take up time even after you've been working on them for years. Basically, there's no passive income element to them. But if Miss Rachel or Rob Kenny didn't put out a video for a few months, their incomes wouldn't go away. They would probably stay steady or even rise. What they have built will continue to generate income for them for years and years. But if you're beta reading on Upwork and you stop working, the money stops. If you're driving Uber or Lyft and you stop driving, the money stops. I get it. Hustling to make money now is kind of the whole point of a side hustle. It's not something that is started with the intent to make passive income. But keep in mind that the time you spent on the side hustle is time you're not spending on your main skill or business. You risk being a jack of all trades in a market that typically requires mastery. Miss Rachel used her teaching skills to create her videos to solve her own need, therefore mastering her teaching skill as well as her parenting skills. Even if her channel never took off, it wouldn't have been a waste of time, in my opinion. When she started getting traction, she focused 100% on her channel, and the quality improved drastically. This goes back to the exceptionalism I described earlier. If you take the time to be exceptional, then you have a better chance of rising to the top, even in a crowded market. Otherwise, you'll be up against people who have 100% focus and eat, breathe, and sleep their particular business or trade. So you'll never be able to compete if you aren't also 100% focused. To summarize, most side hustles lack control and are too easy to start, resulting in too much competition. Since there's too much competition, there's no real need to fill. This sometimes leads to prices dropping in a race to the bottom, and the side hustle takes up your valuable time that you could be using to improve your skills or grow a business you can actually control. For those reasons, my opinion is that side hustles don't work in the long run. They could work short term, and I've personally tried some of these side hustles. So far this year, I've sold over $3,000 worth of items on eBay. It was mostly stuff clogging up my basement, though I did go to some yard sales to purchase items to flip. Turning $1 into 30 isn't uncommon in my experience. An entire haul of items purchased at yard sales could easily be paid for with a single flip. And I didn't just make money while doing this side hustle. I learned or improved some valuable skill sets such as copywriting, photography, and negotiating skills. This was all while making some extra money to help pay for diapers and formula for the newest member of the family. But long term, I feel there are better ways to spend your time in order to make money instead of jumping from hustle to hustle. It may take more effort and time, but the rewards may be so much greater. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Basically, you find a problem, solve it, get paid, and improve. Step 1. Find a problem. First, find a problem to solve. Use the knowledge and skills you have now. Have a certain hobby or skill set? Make a list. Write down what problems you had or currently have relating to those hobbies or skills you've developed. Then describe how you solved or could solve each problem. Do some research and determine how big the market is for each solution you come up with. Step 2. Solve the problem. Next, work to solve the problem that you identified in Step 1. It could be a service, product, or something you teach. Don't spend a lot of time trying to create the perfect solution. Start with a minimum viable product first. This is the smallest or simplest solution that you think solves the problem and can get you some sales. Then, once you have people paying you for the solution, get feedback so you can make the product or service better. Step 3. Get paid. Third, if it's a product or service, set a price that covers your costs and your time. Focus on making a few sales, then adjust accordingly. Step 4. Improve and iterate. Finally, use customer feedback to learn how to improve your product or service. This is when you can also figure out how to scale up production, how to market the product or service better, and how to get the overall business to be more efficient. This is a simplified explanation, though there are many excellent books on the subject, such as The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. The idea is to help people who can't find solutions they seek. By doing so, you may be handsomely rewarded, and then you won't need a side hustle. I hope you enjoyed this video. I attempted to keep this as simple as possible and probably left out a lot of points that could have been made. Also, I merely scratched the surface in regards to the Sense framework, so I highly recommend reading MJ DeMarcos' books to learn more. If there's anything about this subject you would like me to expand upon in a future video, please leave a comment below. Also, if you'd like me to make a video covering another topic, please be sure to add that as well. Thank you for watching.